Good morning, students. Today we are going to read our second poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. Okay, by Stephen Spanter. See, who was Stephen Spanter? Sir, his full name was Sir Stephen Harold Spanter, CBE. This title is given by British Empire to him. He was born on 28 February 1909 and died on 16 July 1995. His nationality was British, okay, and he was an English poet, novelist and essayist, okay. And I would like to mention over here one thing, that he took a keen interest in politics and declared himself to be a socialist and pacifist, okay, fine. And his works concentrated on themes of social injustice and class struggle. And the same theme is taken in this poem, An Elementary Classroom in a Slum. This poem, An Elementary Classroom in a Slum, written in free verse, it does not have rhyme scheme. Fine. So, what is basically mentioned in this poem? We have to understand it. What? That this poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spanter, describes the social inequalities which are prevailing in the society. In the poem, it describes the condition of the students. The condition of the students, as the title shows, an elementary classroom in a slum, means he goes to a, means what that Stephen Spanter went to an elementary school classroom, and where was it? It was in slum. So this poem, written by Stephen Spanter, describes the social inequalities which are prevailing in the society. Okay, fine. In the poem, he describes the condition of the students of an elementary school which is situated in a slum area. The poet wants to draw attention of everyone. Okay, towards these kids, so that their life can be improved and they may get trained to become good citizens rather than criminals. So we can see that this is first stanza, this is second stanza, okay, up to start the verse. This is third stanza and this is fourth stanza. What is mentioned in first stanza? You can note down over here that the first stanza shows what describes the condition of children. How do they look? Second stanza shows what is the condition of classroom where these children are sitting. Third stanza says impact of classroom on these children, and fourth stanza says what? That the appeal from poet's side. Poet wants to improve. Poet appeals to improve slum children's condition. Okay, fine. So let's start with first stanza. This poem is full of figures of speech. We have metaphor, we have alliteration, we have personification. Fine. So I'll give you that list of literary devices after this, after the explanation of this poem. Okay. So first of all, we have to understand that what it is taught. Okay. Yes, you have to note down that this poem is written in free verse. It does not have any rhyme scheme. And first stanza, see, far, far from gusty waves. So what is far, far? Far means far away. So repetition. Far, far from gusty waves. Waves are personified over here, because gusty means what? It energetic. Okay, so this is the quality of human being. Far, far from gusty waves these children faces. Poet says that like rootless weights that hair torn round their pallor. The tall girl with her weight down had the paper swimming boy with red eyes. The stunt unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's-in-law disease, his lesson from his stacks at the back of the dim class. One unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of a squirrel game in a tree room other than this. So this first stanza, what it says, first of all, write down gusty waves means breezy winds. Okay, pallor means pale, dull face. And note down what is a stunt. Stunt means not fully grown due to malnutrition. Okay. Zillard means noted rough. And weeds, you all know very well, unwanted plants that grow on their own. So let's start. And here you know very well what that successor. So let's start. Far, far from gusty waves, these children faces. Poet goes into an elementary school classroom. Elementary means what that? Small children classroom. And he enters into a classroom. Okay, where is it? In a slum. So poet describes that when he sees those children, those who are sitting in a elementary classroom, what does he say? The poet describes the children who study in an elementary school which is set up in a slum area. Poet says that the faces of children are dull, means far away from energy. Okay, faces of children are dull, without any energy. Okay, they are not full of energy like other kids of their age. These children faces means they are very dull, without any energy. They are not full of energy like other kids of their age, like rootless weeds. Then these children, poet compares these children to unwanted weed. Means why unwanted weed? As in field and forest we can see that weed grow as usual, unwanted plant grow as usual without any care. In the same way, these children are compared to unwanted weed. Here the poet wants to say what? That these children seem to be unwanted, like the unwanted weeds which grow on their own in the fields. Okay, their hair torn round their pallor, means that their hair is not neatly done. Their hair is not neatly done. Fine. And it falls on their pallor. It falls on their pale faces as if they have been torn apart. Okay, like we can see in the lockdown what that the people are not able to get the barber, so their hair falls on their faces. You can see. Okay, I'm kidding. It falls on their pale faces as if they have been torn apart. Okay. The children are untidy, means in 2 lines we have learned what? The children are untidy, they have not combed their hair, very weak, and they are compared to rootless weeds, means unwanted plants. These children are not getting any care, okay, from anyone. So now see, now poet describes the children over here. The tall girl with her weight down hat. First of all, he sees, then he describes a tall girl who seems to be burdened by poverty. Her head is bent, maybe because of tiredness or shame. Why tiredness? Because she is very weak due to malnutrition, due to lack of nutrition. And the other reason is she feels shame. Why? Because she is sitting among very small children. Okay. Then the paper seeming boy. Here we can see metaphor with rat's eyes. Why? Because like is not used, but paper seeming means what? That there is another boy who is so weak and thin that he has been compared to the sheet of paper. Like paper he is very weak. Okay, like paper he is very weak. Paper seeming boy compared to the sheet of paper. His eyes with rat's eyes, his eyes reflect greed, means as a rat is searching food, in the same way his eyes reflect greed and he wants to achieve everything. Then poet says, then he describes another student. Okay, stunt what? Stunt means physically disabled, body parts are not grown properly due to lack of nutrition. So then he describes another student who is physically disabled. Okay, fine. So the stunt, unlucky here, successor. Okay, so see, what does he get in his property? क्या मिला उस बच्चे को, उस लड़के को from his father? The poet says that he describes another student who is physically disabled. The poet says that this boy is unlucky because he inherited a disease from his father due to due to which he has deformed due to which he has a deformed body. Means instead of getting any facility from his father, he has received a disease in heritage. This disabled boy is sitting. So what does mention over here? At the what does he do in the class? Is lesson from his desk. Means what? That this disabled boy is sitting on his bench and is reciting his lesson. Okay. Then poet describes at the back of the dim class. Means three children are described over. A tall girl. Okay. Second one is paper skimming boy, and third one is unlucky boy who has not developed properly, okay, due to malnutrition. Means see, these three children are mentioned over here and they all are victim of malnutrition. Then at the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. Poet mentioned that at the back of the dim class in a dark area was a very small boy. Means at the last area, this is classroom, and the last what, at the back of the class in a dim dark area was a small boy who was not visible to the poet as he was sitting in the darkness, unnoted. Okay. The poet could see his eyes which were bright. Means he was very sweet and young, and poet could see his eyes which were bright and full of dream. Okay, fine. He was not paying, his eyes live in a dream. He was not paying attention to the class. So you have to mention over here why he was not why was he not paying attention towards the class. Because that it seemed as if he was rather interested in playing with a squirrel in the tree house, or other than this. Means what? That the poet could see his eyes which were bright and full of dream. Poet says that there are two reasons why that sweet and young boy was looking outside the classroom. Why? Because it seemed as he was rather interested in playing with a squirrel game in the tree house, or the other reason is what? That his eyes were full of dream. So this is the first stanza we have gone through. What is mentioned over here? First of all, that these children are very weak, due to lack of malnutrition. Then poet describes four children over here. Tall girl. Second is paper skimming boy. Okay. Third is that stunt underdeveloped child, and fourth one is this unnoted, sweet and young boy. Okay. We can see that in first stanza, simile is mentioned over here like rootless sweat. Personification is given over a gusty waves. Repetition, far. Metaphor, boy is compared with paper as he is thin. Okay. Okay. Getting my point? So in second stanza, we will go through what that the poet describes the walls of the classroom and all in my second session, okay, of this poem. So it is the first stanza. You all have to go through it, and I am sending you PDF, okay, a PDF of this first stanza. Thank you. Have a nice day.